Hey, what's up, everybody? Ali Raftar back with a brand new video. Today, I wanted to talk about credit repair hopping. And what that essentially means is if you're looking for credit repair and you've been through one company and you're dissatisfied with them because you feel that they're not doing their job, or maybe the timeline that you expected from them was not respected, what you do now is you basically hop into another company and you feel that that's the way to basically pursue your credit repair route. Now, what happens during those incidents is you have to give it some time before the time that you decide to jump onto another company to the time that you determine that they are the ones that are not really fulfilling their promise. Um, the usual time frame when it comes to credit repair, as you all know, you should be technically anywhere between 30 to 90 days. Just to get started to see some outcomes. I'm not saying you're going to see tremendous results and you're going to see everything like turned upside down in like a day. That takes time, right? But typically, what you'd want to do is basically give it at least a good couple of months, like at least 3 to 4 months, and then you're going to start seeing some results. Commitment wise, it takes two sides, right? So, for example, like if somebody on the credit repair side in the business, they're doing their thing and they're basically, launching it to a way that it's going to take some time, and if do it the right way, then definitely the results are going to come in between 45 to 90 days. Does that mean that it's always going to be the case? No. Perhaps sometimes it could be faster, sometimes it could be slower. It really depends on the goal of the company and what they're trying to do and where they stand in terms of like, okay, this is the first part of credit repair. So like you guys know, I talk about the credit sweep methodology, where we try to go for the personal identifiers first, and then we go from personal identifiers to the negative items, because we're going to start anchoring that in the way that we feel would be justified, right? Excuse me. So that's the way that you should typically look at a credit repair process or a journey. So credit repair hopping means that, okay, this company didn't do their job, I'm leaving them, and I'm going to go for another company. Now, before you do that, right, there's three things I want you to think about. The first thing you need to think about when it comes to credit repair hopping is the cost of goods and money, right? So, for example, you've invested some time and money on hiring that initial company, hopefully after doing some research, right? And you feel, okay, well, I've invested my money already. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make my money work for me. So these credit repair companies, typically what they would have is a structure in which, they're following a system. So you can ask them, take your time to basically take the initiative to ask them, hey, if we're doing this, what's the responsibility on my side, and what are some of the things that I can expect from your side? So typically when you go into a credit repair journey, you should know these things, right? Because obviously a lot of people have jumped on because they're in a desperate need, so they just pay and then they expect the results like in 30 days. But in certain incidents, you have to take the time to really, figure out, hey, how do I make it so work for me that in a way that, if I talk to these guys and ask them for their expectations and what are some of the systems they follow, are they going to give me all the answers? And in most cases, what happens is they'll lay out a plan that they can explain very thoroughly with you, right? They're going to say, hey, Mr. So and so or Mrs. So and so, here's the thing we're doing, right? The first step we're going to do is this, the second step is that, and then we're going to try to formulate a strategy moving forward that's going to be very progressive. So start with that, right? Before jumping on and hopping to another credit repair company, start with that. And if you feel that you're not getting the outcome, and maybe it's because there's logistical delays with the credit bureaus. Now, I'm not defending all the other guys out there who are, or gals who are actually doing credit repair and are legitimately, trying to pursue it, or even let's illegitimately trying to collect money from you and making it look like they're doing a lot of work. I'm not in defense of any of that. I'm defense of facts. So, start with that. Ask around and say, hey, before we get, to that point where I need to move to another company, based on what I paid, what is exactly that I got? And if so, like, what have you done so far that I can follow up with my credit bureaus and confirm, right? So let me give you an example. What you need to do is you need to call the credit bureaus. If you feel that you're not getting a response from the credit repair company, you need to call the credit bureaus and ask them, when was the last time you got a letter from me? All right, what was the letter indicating? Because what happens is uh, sometimes it's not even a letter. Some people do the credit sweep, they do it the wrong way. We talk about that, the FTC and the police report, identity theft stuff. That can get you into a lot of trouble, by the way, right? But if you ask around and if you say, hey, what exactly was the letter corresponding to? When was the last time a letter was sent, and all that kind of stuff? And if you feel like, okay, there was some communications, they're in the process of responding, then you have your answer. Because at the end of the day, what happens is you need to figure out, where you stand with your reports or your structure or the plan. Now, if you feel like, oh, the last time we got a letter was last year, and that's not really helping you because for a fact, like that's not exactly what you paid somebody, then you have confirmation that they actually didn't do the job. You see what I'm saying? So you have these things that you can do. So you can pick up the phone and call the credit reporting agencies, identify yourself, obviously, and ask them when was the last time that you got a letter from me, and what was the letter pertaining to, because I can't remember correctly. So they'll give you the answer, and they'll tell you exactly when their last correspondence was. So, a lot of people are afraid to pick up the phone and call, or maybe they're just not aware of some of these things that you can do to protect yourself. But at least if you know, okay, that person has been sending mail, has been doing certain things the right way, you don't have to rush to judgment. We just have to give it some time. If they say we're in the process of responding, we're going to give you some correspondence in the next, 30 to 45 days, you have an answer. So again, pick up the phone, ask them when was the last time they got any letters, and that gives you an indication of, hey, they're actually going to respond to me and they're going to do whatever they have to do. So that's the thing you have to start doing now, right? And then so that's settled with, right? We discussed like, okay, before you jump on to another company or decide to move away, do these basic steps, right? Figure out from the credit repair side or company, what have they done, and figure out whether or not that actually does correlate with your answers from the credit bureaus, the horse's mouth directly, right? So that's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do is investigate whether or not the next process that you can hop onto or take on is going to actually benefit you, right? Because at the end of the day, there are certain things that you can do yourself. I teach you guys that on YouTube. I say start with the PI minimizer technique, which is an absolute free way to get rid of some of the personal identifiers and making it easy for you to step by step go through a credit repair journey more efficiently. Now, you might want to learn some more advanced tactics, which is normal because a lot of people say, hey, look, I'm fed up with like these basic stuff, even though they work. I want to make sure that it's bulletproof. Bulletproofing a system requires some knowledge, extra knowledge that you wouldn't have on certain platforms like YouTube. This is why I created the Ultimate Personal Credit Mastery, because that provides you with more in-depth knowledge. Now, the description is below this video. If you want to access it, it's $9.97. Price will go up to $14.97 by the end of February, and the reason why it's because you'll actually learn how to do a suite yourself. But anyways, moving on to that. Try the free strategies before you hop onto another company. If you feel that it's too complicated for you, like I said, you have the course, but at the same time, try to simplify it. Look through the video multiple times. Try to take some notes. Try to simplify it. If you're not sure, there's other videos associated with that one. The Trident Way, for example. There's the PI minimizer technique, the item anchoring, the 15-day power search, which we discussed, which works with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So there are these techniques. So far, what do we have? We figured out whether or not the credit repair company has done a proper process. We called the credit reporting agencies to figure out when was the last communication received from you. The third step is investigating on certain things that you can do yourself. If you feel that you need to do advanced stuff, you hop on to the Ultimate Personal Credit Mastery. Now, let's assume that it's too complicated. You don't want to go that route. It's too much for you. What's the next step, right? In that situation, what you need to do is contact the credit repair company or agency or professional who's out there, whatever channels they're in, and ask them, hey, I want to jump on and here's my situation. And show them that you know your stuff. Don't just call them, ask them what their price is, because that's not the way to do things, right? Before you call the next company, demonstrate to them that you're knowledgeable, that you know exactly what's going on and whether or not they can actually help you before paying. So for instance, if they say, well, what can I help you with? You say, look, I just contacted the credit reporting agencies. A prior credit repair company was supposed to help me, but any communication that was supposed to be sent was not sent or certain information was not there. So I verified with the credit bureaus. So I'm asking you, before I pay you for your services, what exactly am I going to get? So you got to take your time to do that. If you don't, then anybody can make a fool out of you because they can say all these type of things and promise you stuff and you might believe it. And you're going to jump onto the bandwagon. Don't fall for that, right? So again, demonstrate that you're knowledgeable. Ask them the right questions. Say, what's the steps that you're going to take to fix my credit? How do I know you're going to do the right job? Because you already done communications with the credit reporting agencies. You know exactly what was sent, what wasn't sent. Sorry about the lighting thing. It's just a bit weird because there's the sun here and then there's the regular lights. Let me see if I can just shift it a bit. So that's the thing you need to do. Okay, so that's what we have so far. So before, like I said, jump onto another credit repair company, ask them what they're going to do for you. Ask them whether or not, they're going to actually deliver what they said they're going to deliver. What are the steps? If they say, well, we're just going to do an FTC method or credit sweep. If they can't explain to you the basics of credit sweep, like I explained, IDs first, item anchoring, and then the power surge. And then, of course, continuously doing certain other protocols, advanced stuff, item like compliance, item reporting guidelines, all these type of things, then forget about it because they're not going to answer you. Why would you do business with somebody who's not transparent, right? So that's the steps you got to take before credit repair hopping, which is like going from one company to another because you're just dissatisfied with the results, or you're not getting what you was promised. And on the other side, you need to make sure that if you're going to another company, that whatever you get, you're going to pay for is worth it for you, because that's the goal, right? It's to make sure that whatever you pay for, you're going to get. And remember, credit is to build wealth, so you cannot be wasting time trying to figure out if the company is going to do good by you. It's on you to make sure that you hire the right company in the first place, or take the advanced knowledge and the information you have here to do it yourself, which I highly encourage. Because if you have that knowledge, you can help others. You can help yourself, demonstrate yourself as a true testament to what you've done, help others in the family, indirectly, directly, whatever the case. And then what's going to happen is you're going to pretty much be successful with the credit repair journey. So I hope this video was clear, that it made sense on what are some of the steps you need to take prior to hopping to another credit repair company before canceling your existing subscription or whoever that is that you're dealing with. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Of course, I cut myself here. If you feel that there are certain things that I said that were powerful, what's the first step you're going to take prior to canceling or maybe moving on to another credit repair company? So leave it on the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed and you're new, subscribe to this channel. Turn that bell icon on so every time there's a new video, you will be first to be notified. And with that said and done, this is your guide and mentor, Ali Tarafter. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.